I can't tell you how many conversations I've had that start the exact same way. A client will sit down across from me, proud of how they've consistently saved, and they'll say something like this: "My TFSA is simple. I just put money in every year and let it grow." And that confidence makes sense because the name itself makes it sound straightforward. Tax-free savings account. What could possibly be complicated about that? But here's what I've learned after seeing hundreds of real accounts, decade-long contribution histories, and more CRA letters than you'd ever want to receive. Most of the TFSA mistakes people make have nothing to do with investing and everything to do with the rules that no one has explained clearly. I've watched smart, successful Canadians lose contribution room they can never get back. I've seen people unintentionally trigger penalties, not because they were careless, but because the TFSA has quirks that aren't obvious until you're already in trouble. And the part that always gets people is this: there's no alert, there's no warning message, there's no little pop-up that says, "Stop, this move will cost you." The mistakes show up months later, long after you've forgotten the transaction entirely. And suddenly you're dealing with penalties, lost room, or tax consequences that feel completely unfair because no one told you the rule in the first place. That's why I want to walk you through the 5 TFSA rules nobody talks about. Because once you understand how the account actually works behind the scenes, it completely changes how you manage it for the rest of your life. Hi, I'm Danny Perro, Senior Investment Advisor at CG Wealth Management. If you're like many of my clients, you've worked hard to build real wealth. And the TFSA feels like one of the few places in Canada where you can invest without the CRA standing over your shoulder. But here's the challenge most people don't see until much, much later. Your TFSA is only as powerful as the strategy behind it, and a small misunderstanding can quietly undo years of disciplined savings. Unfortunately, it happens all the time. People max out every year, invest wisely, track their accounts, and then discover they unknowingly broke a rule that was never made clear to them. So today, I want to help you avoid that. I'm going to walk you through 5 TFSA rules nobody warns you about, and why they matter, and how to use the account the way it was designed to be used, so your money actually stays tax-free for life. If you find this valuable, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more expert financial content. Let's start with the rule that catches more Canadians than any other. Number 1, you can't recontribute withdrawals until January 1st of the next calendar year. This single rule causes more TFSA penalties than anything else. Here's the typical situation. You withdraw $10,000 in April because you need some money for a renovation. Then in September, you have that cash again. So naturally, you want to put the $10,000 back into your TFSA. It feels like nothing has changed. You're simply replacing what you took out. But the TFSA doesn't reset based on the withdrawal date. It only resets on January 1st. So when people redeposit the money in the same year, they unknowingly overcontribute, and the CRA charges a penalty of 1% per month on the excess amount. The other problem? The CRA doesn't warn you. There's no automatic alert. You only find out later. This rule becomes even more painful when someone withdraws during the year for an emergency and then tries to fix it later without realizing the calendar is the issue. The safest mindset is simple. If you withdraw from your TFSA, assume you can only put it back in January. Number 2, your CRA account does not show real-time TFSA contribution room. This one surprises people who are very organized. You log into your MyCRA account, you see the TFSA room it shows, and you trust that number. Then later, you get a letter saying you've overcontributed. Why does this happen? Because the CRA updates TFSA information only after your financial institution sends its annual report, and the delay can be months or even longer. If you contribute at the end of the year or at the beginning of the next year, your CRA portal might show contribution room that you no longer have. This becomes risky if you contribute through multiple banks, you set up automatic monthly deposits, you transferred a TFSA recently that you contributed in December or January. The CRA portal is helpful, but it's not a real-time tool. It's a historical record. That's why tracking your own contribution, even with a simple note on your phone, is the safest approach. Or as I like to say, use a financial advisor. Number 3, you can invest aggressively inside a TFSA, but you cannot day trade. This rule is less obvious but critically important. Your TFSA can hold almost everything: ETFs, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and more depending on the institution. Aggressive growth? No problem. But if your trading activity becomes excessive, the constant buying and selling, speculative trades, momentum trading, short-term flips, the CRA may decide you're not investing, you're running a business. And in that case, it's considered business income inside of a TFSA, and it would be taxable. I've seen cases where Canadians turned a small TFSA into a much larger one through active trading, only to receive a CRA notice years later saying the gains are not tax-free. The other problem is the CRA doesn't exactly define that line, but the general idea is clear. Your TFSA is designed for long-term investing, not frequent trading. If you treat your TFSA like a trading operation, you introduce risk you don't need. Number 4, transfers between institutions must be done properly, or you permanently lose room. This is one of the biggest hidden pitfalls, especially for people who want to move to a new advisor or a new bank. They decide to move their TFSA from Bank A to Bank B. They withdraw the money from Bank A, and then they redeposit into Bank B. Feels like a transfer, right? But not to the CRA. This is considered a brand new contribution, which means the deposit at Bank B counts against your TFSA room, even though you were simply just trying to move the account. And the penalties can be significant, especially with large balances. The proper method is a direct TFSA transfer. Your institution moves the assets for you. There's no withdrawal, there's no new contribution, and then there are no penalties. Every year, I see people lose room permanently because a bank teller or online form didn't make this clear. A direct transfer protects everything. Number 5, your TFSA is an estate planning tool, but only if you choose the right beneficiary structure. Most Canadians don't realize their TFSA setup affects what happens after they're gone. You have 3 options. Successor holder, this is only available for your spouse or common law partner. They take over your TFSA exactly as it is with the tax-free status preserved, and it doesn't affect their own TFSA room. This is usually the best choice for couples. Also, a beneficiary designation. Anyone can be named. The money remains tax-free up to the date of death, but the account itself must be closed. Any growth after your date of death can become taxable. Or finally, no designation. This is where things get messy. Your TFSA becomes part of your estate. It may go through probate, depending on your province, and it can face delays, fees, and complications your family wasn't expecting. The difference between these choices can be night and day. And the problem is, most people never review their beneficiary forms after the initial setup. A quick check with your financial advisor can save your spouse or children months of complexity. At the end of the day, the TFSA is one of the most powerful tools Canadians have for long-term, tax-free wealth building. But the account only works in your favor when you understand these quieter, less obvious rules. It's not just about contributing. It's about knowing how the rules interact with timing, transfers, withdrawals, and estate planning. Because peace of mind in retirement doesn't come from guessing. It comes from structure, clarity, and strategy. If you wanted a second opinion on your plan or want to make sure your TFSAs are actually working in your favor, book a time with me using the link in the description below. I see this a lot of time with younger adult children where they haven't properly taken the time to look at the TFSA and the great benefits it could provide for them. The time to act is now, because as you know, money never sleeps.